Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Oquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll. Hi,
Hey,
Mary.
Chris. How's it going?
I am tired. It's going all right, but it's one of those. It was the Wednesday that I have a 3-dog stop, and once again underestimated the amount of time it would take because in my head the dogs aren't ancient, but they're ancient. And as I get there and pick them up, oh yeah, that's right. They're ancient, and one of them gave us a stroke today. Both the owner and I literally having heart attacks because one of the dogs has a really bad heart condition. Like, he's on borrowed time heart condition. So he usually goes second. And we couldn't find him. Like, his mom was like, I just thought I saw he was just there sleeping in the bed, and I hear her calling, and she's looking all over, and all I could think is, I guess it would be good that I would be here for her, but I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here if he just went to sleep and just went to sleep. I don't. Yeah. Spoiler alert. He just accidentally got locked in the grown daughter's bedroom and was just napping in there and was completely fine and was like, I don't know what the fuss is about. I don't know why mommy's so upset and hugging me tight.
So we got a little bit of a late start here. And there's 2 points I'm going to make with that. The first one is Esther and I had to do an emergency fence repair because he took a chunk of it out with the lawnmower.
Yeah, I wanted to hear about that.
Well, yeah, it's enough for, okay, now, Mickey wouldn't be able to squeeze through it.
Mm-hmm.
But Pooh Bear and the other, and Cecil and Speedy could have easily squeezed through it. So we had to take care of that.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a priority.
What kind of fence was it? Like, how do you even?
It's a wooden fence.
And he has, I guess you have a riding mower because you have like.
Oh, he has a big ass riding mower.
Okay. So this was like hitting it with a very small car.
Yeah, basically.
Like one of those little tiny smart cars. The little like.
The little ones.
The baby cars. They're so cute. They look like toys.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's at least as big as that. All right. I can see it.
Okay. So, and the other thing is yesterday, so my husband had minor procedure done yesterday. And the way hospitals work these days with minor procedures is that they want you out like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your anesthetic's worn off, you need to leave.
Oh, but did you get to go to Pike's Place, and did you go to that place?
I did not. I did not have enough time because they want to see you. They're right there, and they won't even look at you until it's like time for him to go in. So if I got there with plenty of time to go to Pike's Market, however, because they wouldn't acknowledge my existence as his ride home until they were ready for him, I didn't have enough time.
Well, that stinks. When I dropped my husband off for the similar procedure, they were like, that's your ride. Okay, here he comes. We're taking him back. All right, you just go. We'll call you.
Yeah. No, it's not a walkable distance from the hospital.
Well, I assumed you had a car.
There's no place to freaking park there. I would have to Uber over or take a cab.
Well, there's paid parking.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spend a half hour looking for parking, pay, and then get out, and then I get the phone call, hey, he's ready.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
But anyway.
Just saying. Anyway,
so 2-hour ride home turned into 4 hours because literally it was like bumper to bumper traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get home and I get this alert from, there's an air tag, there's an air tag that's been following you. There's some notification.
What does that even mean?
Well, what it's supposed to mean is that I was in the vicinity of an air tag, and they pinpointed precisely from when to when, supposedly when this air tag was. Okay, so I'm out there freaking searching my car for an air tag, and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous.
You think somebody slipped an air tag into your car?
No. What I think is somebody had an air tag in the car next to me in bumper to bumper traffic.
Oh, okay. I was like, how can an air tag follow you? I am very...
No, the way that works is that someone slips an air tag in your vehicle and then it can track where your vehicle goes.
Okay. All right.
And then my phone is like, oh, hey, by the way, did you know you have an unknown air tag? You have an unauthorized, you did not authorize this air tag. Do you recognize this? Did you put an air tag in, did not tell us?
Your phone was just very affronted and offended for you?
Yes, very much so.
Not even concerned for your safety. It was just offended.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, dealing with that and then coming home with like, well, where's the air tag? I wasted like a good half hour, like, because it has a thing where you can make the air tag sound off.
Uh-huh.
So I'm pressing, make it sound off, and there's no sound, and it's like, move around. It was ridiculous. It was
basically now what happened is some innocent person who was stuck in traffic near you, their air tag started going off.
No, it was just my phone punking me.
I think some innocent person's air tag was going off, and now you're freaking them out, and it's like this chain reaction of technology just failing. I mean, honestly, all I know about air tags and that sort of stuff is that Mindy will air tag her grandkids when they're out at like a park or something, like Legoland. And I think that's brilliant.
Oh, no, I think that's a really good idea. I have 4 air tags in various things of mine when I travel. So like I know where my stuff is.
That makes sense.
Because, we've all heard the stories of someone's not getting a luggage there, and they're like, but here's where my bag is. I could show you on the map where my bag is.
Uh-huh. I kind of, you know what, I should do that. I travel enough, I really should.
It's Apple, it's not just Apple. So if you don't have an iPhone, it's fine. They make a version for the Android phones.
How much are air tags?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe I spent $100 on 4 of them. Give or take, I don't know.
I have too many windows open. I'm hitting all the wrong things.
I bought them directly from Apple.
Apple AirTags, Amazon. 4 for 100.
Yeah.
1 for 30.
Yeah. So I bought mine for 4 for 100, and I bought them right from the Apple website.
Okay. I guess if I really just need one for, I should get one for no, the phone has a whole separate thing. I should just get one for my suitcase.
Yeah, I have them in 2 of my suitcases. And they're hidden in my suitcase. It's not easy to find.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
goodness.
same thing
So,
with my computer bag and my camera bag. I've got one in each of those too.
oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So, what are we talking about today? We'll hit our topics before we hit our first commercial.
Okay. So, just some of the stuff we see on Facebook, and I think maybe we should address it. So,
Okay.
one of the things that I saw in the forums was that somebody didn't sign their paperwork and then canceled last minute, claimed an emergency. So I want to cover that. And what else did I want to talk about? There was two things.
Boundaries, Teton. The Teton show
That's
just
right, the
happened.
Teton show that just happened. So what do
Okay.
you want to talk about first, Chris?
First, because we've been at this 10 minutes, first I hit a button. And then we talk about stuff in 30 seconds. Wahaha. I've been swiveling for years now with my evolution shears, but I wasn't actually born with a pair of swivel shears in my hands. Check out our website and Facebook page for our library of how-to videos, or give me a shout for a personalized guide. Your hands will thank you. Don't forget, Traveling Groomers Podcast listeners get $10 off and free shipping with the code ON THE ROAD, all one word. What are you waiting for? Give them a try today. Lies! I was totally born with a pair of swivel shears in my hand. My poor mother. So speaking of mothers, this show was Mother's Day weekend,
Okay.
which was rough, and I felt bad for Quincy because at a certain point, and this was after the show, I realized, oh my God, she must have answered the same questions 1,000 times, because I know she took over the show late, so she did not have a full year to plan. So when you don't have a full year to plan, and venues are expensive, just from looking up stuff for the New Jersey group and planning our annual gala, I know venues are expensive and pricey, and the dates they have available are the dates they have available sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sure she 1,000 times went, yes. Oh, I called many hotels. Yes, I checked that one too. Yes, I checked there. No, they didn't have anything other than Mother's Day weekend available. Because also with the amount of shows that are happening now,
Yes, there is a fair number of shows.
it's becoming increasingly tight and tricky to schedule things. So she did a very, very good job. You know, the show went well. I think Mother's Day weekend definitely affected the Sunday, but you know what? She did a bang up job, and I can't wait to go back next year.
Yeah, I knew she would do a good job. I had every faith that Quincy could pull it off. All right. So yeah, I'm glad to hear it because I wasn't there this year, but again, you know what? Sometimes you got to pick and choose which shows you go to. You can't, well, I can't go to them all.
I can't even go to the mall. There's another one this weekend that the rest of my evolution team is going to be at. And I was like, sure, see ya. If I don't have to be at a show my birthday weekend, I'm not gonna.
Oh, your birthday's coming up.
Yeah, Mary, that
Well,
was,
it'll be past.
what was that?
It'll
Well,
be
but
past by
yes, by the time this airs, it will pass, because when you were like, when we were discussing when we were moving the time for today, because you were working on your fence and I was stuck in traffic. You were like, we could do it Friday, and I'm like, no. Notice I said no real. Usually I'm quick to like, yeah, let's reschedule, free night off. No, Friday is my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Why, thank you. We are planning, hopefully it will actually happen. We're planning on going into Chinatown for dinner to celebrate my half century.
Nice. Oh boy, I bet Chinatown is going to be really nice.
You know,
Probably almost as nice as the one here in Seattle, which I did not get to go to, but enjoy.
you know what? I, wow, you like how she snuck that in there, y'all? I have to say, the one in New York is way better than the one in Seattle.
Oh, I know the one in New York is way better.
And as my husband pointed out, Seattle probably has a much higher Japanese population than Chinese population. So if I'd have gone to that area, if they had one, it probably would have been nicer. But it was still nice-ish. Sorry, Mary. I was. It was bad. It was bad, and I was tired. And you're just gonna hold that over me for the rest of our natural lives, and I just have to accept that and move on.
I don't know what you would thought would be anything, why I wouldn't do that. Just saying.
Just saying. But what was nice about one of the things that was nice about Teton was there were a lot of first time or new creative competitors, and they had the two different categories. They had like novice and open. And there were a lot, and everybody did amazing.
Good.
Amazing. But I got to be Mindy's right hand for some stuff and take notes for her. And I know we talked about in another episode that rumor that Mindy and I are actually involved, and Mo and Abby are our parents, like one of our parents. We don't know which. The funniest thing is we laughed and thought it was really stupid when we heard it. But now we're going through the shows and little things and like, oh yeah, I see it. I see it now. Because her right arm was in a sling. So we'd be at breakfast and she'd be like, can you cut my food? Or here, can you like cut my, and I'm cutting her food for her. And I'm like, okay, I see it now. Following, taking notes because she can't write.
Well, work wives.
Yes, we're definitely work spouses. Ooh, we could also talk about preventative maintenance a little bit, or maybe save that for another episode.
I do want to touch in a little bit about, some boundaries, and, you have paperwork for a reason. You ought to use it. So the post on Facebook was that she wanted an opinion on what she should do because she feels there's a lot of red flags, and they wouldn't sign her paperwork. And then
what do you mean wouldn't sign her paperwork?
They didn't sign her paperwork.
Okay.
Requests to sign it went unanswered. Is that a better phrase? And then she canceled last minute because she had an emergency. And she was wondering whether or not she should like rebook this person or not. And I'm like, no. All right. And I'm just going to put this question out there to anyone. Have you ever had a first-time client who canceled, no-showed, or whatever, the very, very first appointment, and then went on to be a good client? Because I have none of those.
Okay, so I'm going to play minor devil's advocate, just so we have like some back and forth opposing viewpoints. Well, make it more interesting for everybody. Most of the time that's happened where I've had a first appointment no-show, they never wanted or tried to reschedule or reached out for a second appointment.
You were making my point.
However, if there was a legit emergency and they said, I really do want to make a second appointment, that's when you go, fantastic. After you sign this paperwork, then we will make that appointment.
With a non-refundable deposit.
Yeah. Then you say, you know what?
We have never had a conversation go that far.
But that's how you know if it was a legit emergency, if you have that second conversation, if it does go that far.
Okay.
And I will have to say, Mary, as much as house calls in a shop are annoying, there are house calls in a shop, no shows in a shop are annoying. There is nothing like pulling up to someone's house.
Yeah.
And mobiles, if y'all think that pulling up at someone's house and knocking on their door and getting ghosted is annoying, how would you like to have unpacked all your shit out of your trunk, dragged it to their house, sometimes up a flight of stairs, and gone, ding dong, and there have been no answer and no answer to your calls or texts? That is annoying.
All right. So some of the things again I say, I'm heading over to, and this is in mobile, okay? I'm heading over to a client, or I'm not sure if I should head over or not because they haven't responded to the confirmation.
Well, that's where your P&P goes in. Like,
Yeah.
that's where in the thing you have them sign before their first appointment. If it says you have to confirm or I won't show up.
All right. So the point that we're trying to, some people are just not good clients.
Yeah.
They will never be good clients. They will suck you dry. They will waste. Here's the thing. They will waste your time.
Yeah.
And you know what? And every once in a while, you know what? Getting that afternoon, that last appointment. See, I would never schedule a new client anyway, unless they were the last appointment.
Mm-hmm. Because then you're like, woohoo, early day.
Early day. All right. But you scheduled someone, a new client in the middle of the day, and they're not there, that messes up your entire day. Or worst, they're your first appointment.
I just text my next appointment and say, running early, be there and so. And if they say, oof, I can only do this, then I'm like, I just run an errand.
Well, see,
I mean,
my
my
philosophy is that I could have slept in an
oh
extra
no,
hour.
that's also true.
Okay.
That's
And
also
they
true.
just took away. So not only do they show me and ghost me at their own house, okay, they cost me an hour of sleep. And honestly, there's two things that will like get you, like, never will get my forgiveness. Make me miss a meal. Okay.
Oh, Mary, it is time. It is time to hit another button. But that is just, yeah, make you miss a meal or make you miss some sleep.
Yeah. Those are the two things that'll put you on my shit list.
I will hit a button. I love being a house call groomer, but I hate doing laundry or worrying about asking my clients for fresh towels. Raypet has solved those problems for me with the Wet Pet disposable towel. Taking up much less space than traditional cotton towels and easy to wring out and reuse, these super soft, comfy, absorbent towels eliminate any cross-contamination concerns between pets, and now their new smaller washcloth size can even help those sensitive eye areas. Great for cleaning out wrinkles gently and thoroughly. Need to keep water bowls for your clients on hand that are easy to disinfect, but hate all the room traditional clanky metal bowls take up? Or just have a very active pet? Their collapsible silicone bowl comes with an aluminum D-ring hook that can be attached to your pet's leash or anywhere else in your van for easy storage. You can get one by itself or in their handy travel kit, along with a set of 3 tick removers and 1 small wet pet towel. So stop by their website to check it out, raypet.net, and tell them the Traveling Groomers sent you.
You're muted.
I am muted. I was muted. I'm back now. So
Okay.
So
tea
when
time.
we're dealing with first time clients, or when
Okay.
we're dealing with, is there any time you do give them a benefit of the doubt? Like maybe they do call you back.
Okay, so but here's the thing, right? So someone no shows me, they'll get a call or a text saying, "Hey, missed your appointment." The call and the message I leave, a call to reschedule. You have to call me to reschedule. Okay. Um, and that's where I leave it, and that's where all the conversations go to die.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, I am fine with that. I really don't waste my time.
That's fair.
Which is fair. We're busy. We run businesses, and you know what? I could have had a paying client in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I like an early day, I still have bills to pay.
It's always, it never happens on weeks where you're like, whatever. It always happens on weeks when you're like, oh, I got stuff due. Like it's the end of the month or some shit. That's when it seems to happen.
Yeah, you know, not the beautiful day that, you know what, I'm going to take an extended lunch and I'm just going to sit by this beautiful lake and chill. That's all well and good, and that should be done on my day off. Okay.
Yeah.
Not on a work day, and then I'm out that money. So
Yeah.
anyway, you have boundaries, you have policies, they ought to be enforced, and you get to decide what your own policies and procedures are. And for example, okay, when my husband got out of surgery and the anesthetic wore off, they're like, come get your man. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
They didn't even care that he was your man. They were like, you said you were going to pick up this random bloke. Just get him. Get him.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Take him and leave. If there's a problem, call 911.
Oh, so
And this is not a crappy hospital. This is a really good hospital. Okay.
now I also see a lot on Facebook, like people getting too personal. Like clients trying to get too personal with their groomers when their groomers are not comfortable with it.
Okay. Yes.
So how do we keep our personal boundaries, not just professional boundaries? I mean, with professional boundaries, we can do all we are sticking to our guns, we are signing, we're updating our policy and procedure. What do we do when it's just, how do we shut down our
All right. So the problem
personal
is,
boundaries?
this is a problem I've made, you've made. We accept friends, our clients as friends on Facebook.
Yeah, I
And you know what?
stopped that quick. I only had like a super small handful, and then I stopped.
I have a very small handful too. But again, that was something I was like, oh crap, I cannot do this. Now, of course, you can, block some of your posts from people seeing it, but then you got to kind of remember to
I
do
gotta
it.
remember, who remembers that nonsense?
Who remembers that? Remember, if you have clients on it, and it's all well and good to have political and religious views, but that should not be, unless those are the clients, those are the only clients you want, the people who believe the same thing you do. All right. If that's the case, post away. Okay. But if it's not, all right, and you're like me, where money is money.
Whether, there is no blue or red money, there is green money.
There's green money.
And that's all she wrote.
And that's all she wrote, and that's what pays my bills. So,
although, confession, I feel like every year is that now, but during a particular politically charged point in our very recent history, when I, bless you, wasn't necessarily taking new clients, someone did message my business page on Facebook And I was about to say no because I wasn't really taking new clients. And then I saw, I'm like, is that a picture of them with insert political-ish figure here? And I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I can absolutely fit your dog in. And they wound up being, they're still one of my best clients.
Yeah. Okay. One of my and he was already a client of mine.
Uh-huh.
And I'm in his house and I notice his Christmas picture is him with somebody I really like.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how did you get a picture with him? We had dinner.
And you
You
didn't,
had
you're like, and you didn't invite me?
seriously.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
and okay. That's we digress. We're shocked. They're gonna be clients you vibe really well with. And that is one of my biggest perks to being self-employed. Is that if there's a client you just don't vibe with well, you don't get along with, either you don't like how they conduct themselves professionally, or you don't like how they conduct themselves personally, you can do things to move away from that.
all right. So the hard thing is that when you realize that you've made a mistake, okay, and your choice is, hey, I'm no longer on Facebook, and then just block them because now they can't see you.
They can't say, yeah, and you're like, oh, I deleted my account. Meh.
Yeah, I mean, that would be one way of doing it. But then again, if they're friends with people you know, they're gonna know they're gonna know that's not exactly true.
That's also a thing.
So I guess if you haven't made friends with your clients, be really careful about that.
Yes.
Okay. If you are
Oh,
already friends with them and you want a nice way, hey, I am just my Facebook is I don't have the time for it. It's just going to be my immediate family, and so I can keep in touch with my immediate family, and that's it. You know,
please follow my business page, or for businessy stuff.
yeah.
Although I do have to say, I do have one client who is on my friends list on Facebook that when I was not walking, she was the reason I was able to teach a pet tech class that was local, because I basically went, because I also had no car at the time. I wasn't driving, I had no car. I basically went, hey, you want a free pet tech class? I need your help lugging stuff. I need your help lugging things and setting up things and driving me.
Okay, but again, there are clients. I mean, I have clients on my Facebook friend, former clients, because I'm retired from grooming now.
Mm.
And we still, chit chat, that sort of thing. Um, and that's fine because I like them. you know, I
Yeah, which is why
personally
they
like
got on your friends list to begin
which
with.
is why they got on my friends list. Okay. Um, but anyway, also, let's also go into the inappropriate comments, especially for house call and mobile, because it's not like someone's coming into a shop, which it was just bad enough making
Yep,
inappropriate
yep,
comments,
yep, yep.
but that's your space in somebody else's space, in their home, in their driveway. All right. I think making inappropriate comments is another level of things we cannot tolerate.
Yes, and I actually have some ideas on that, but it is time to hit a button again. So we'll be right back. And speaking of continuing education, because we either were or will be, join the Andis World Class Education Team each month for live interactive virtual classes. You'll learn new and trending styles, as well as tips and tricks from some of the best groomers in the industry. Whether you're looking for basic skills, trending styles, advanced techniques, or even just ways to spark your creativity, the new Andis Grooming Education site is your source for finding what you need to create your way for success. Try new techniques, Learn from the pros and grow your confidence today at andis.com/groomer education. Traveling Groomer Podcast listeners, hey, that's you, can get 25% off your first course today with the code VEGROOMING at checkout on andis.com/groomer education. Alrighty, so yeah, how do we put that kibosh? And I was about to, when you brought it back to topic, I was about to comment that that's obviously tricky because notice we danced around it and didn't actually answer that question because it can be hard.
Maybe. But one thing I'm going to preface it with, if it's an older client who's never done this before and now is being inappropriate, that could be some signs of Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, so if that 80-year-old gentleman who's been a gentleman your entire thing and now is being inappropriate, that's probably a medical reason, and somebody should be aware of this. Somebody should be made aware of that.
And what makes that worse is that doesn't mean you should still be comfortable going to the house.
Yes.
But that just means you now have the do you then reach out? Do you reach out to a family member? Do you know a family member to reach out to?
Yeah, there's that. There's also what's the number for us? Let me just Google it. There's one of the numbers, senior help city line. Let me see what Google comes up with. Okay, usually it's one of the 11 numbers, 311, 211. 24-hour senior helpline. This is going to be paid things.
Oh, so you can call like a wellness check.
You can do like a wellness check.
The problem with that is when dementia and Alzheimer's start, a wellness check isn't necessarily going to pick anything up.
But I'm talking specifically a senior.
Senior,
Find ask in your town city hall, town clerk, whatever. Find out whatever the senior protection line number, whatever it is. Most towns have it. If your town doesn't, it's probably on the county level. They can at least guide you in the right direction, I guess.
Okay. But in terms of when you're mobile and someone starts with that nonsense, there's a couple different ways to do it. There is if you're ballsy enough, there's I'm really not comfortable with that, or, I'm extra married, or I don't know what extra married means, no, in case anyone's going to ask. No, I don't know why I occasionally come up with that. There could be, I really don't get into cross those personal boundaries with clients, and you can say it like that professionally. You can also just be skeeved enough you never want to go back there, and that's when being creative comes in. You know what I mean? You could be, oh, you know what? Unfortunately, I've had to reconfigure my service area, and you're no longer outside of my service, inside my service area. You can just ghost them. It may not be the most professional thing, but when you're talking about being at someone's house,
okay,
that makes you uncomfortable.
We stop this right here about being unprofessional, about being unprofessional.
But no, I'd rather you be safe.
I would much rather you be safe.
No. That's what I was getting at. Like, I'd rather you be safe.
Not unprofessional. If someone is making you uncomfortable or fearful and you ghost them, you are not being unprofessional.
That's true. Because they know. They've got to know.
Yeah. Oh, come on. They know.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
So
yeah. I know people worry about that sort of thing. I
I think
know
sometimes
I
it's
worry about
overly
that sort of thing.
over worry about that. And God, who was it? Was it Helen Mirren? I think it was her, where she said, what was one of the regrets that she's had over her lifetime?
Mm-hmm.
And the quote from her, and I'm quoting her, Chris, okay, was, I didn't say fuck you enough.
I'm fact checking this in real time.
I think it's Helen Moran, Mirren.
Yeah, yeah.
She seems like the
Helen,
type of,
first thing that comes up. Helen Mirren wishes she told people to fuck off more. Yep.
okay, got that
Hey,
correct.
why Helen Mirren wishes she'd said fuck off more as a young woman. Helen, okay, yeah, that's
All right,
definitely, I've
so
saw it enough. Yeah,
okay. All right,
she's
so the
she's
point
awesome.
the point being, okay, we do not have to play nicey nice with people who are making us uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I can remember as a young mom, I had 3 little kids. I'm going to guess I'm like 24, 25-ish somewhere. So we're renting an apartment, and the landlord had to come in and fix the stove, and he kept calling me Cupcake. All right. And it was bothering me. And I got up, and again, I'm young, okay? Where I got up the nerve to say, can you please stop calling me Cupcake? And he looked at me like it was the first time someone told him that. But you know what? He stopped calling me Cupcake.
I would hope that I would have the presence of mind to say, first of all, I'm not a cupcake. I'm a whole ass cake. Second of all, I'm not your cake. Let's, bring this back to Chris, or now it's Mrs. Anthony.
Yeah. I was rather proud of myself at that point,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, any other advice about dealing? Okay, let's deal with somebody is really handsy with you.
Oh, that's get out of there ASAP.
Yeah. So always
I don't
make
care
sure.
if the dog is half groomed. The dog is half groomed. Somebody start to get handsy with you. You've got a sudden case of the diarrhea and need to get out of there. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm feeling really unwell. I don't want to vomit all over you. I gotta go. Yeah.
Well, we should have, again, some of these things that maybe should be in our kits, okay? Like our grooming kits. Maybe, and I am sure they make it. I'm sure on some website, there's like can of gas where you press a button.
Oh, the fart, the fart kit where you hear and there's actually a smell. There's a
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
So where would we find that, Chris?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Joke fart.
But here's the thing too. Don't go into somebody's house that is a known sexual offender. And that is easy
Yes.
enough to check. Okay. It's not foolproof, but it's easy enough to check because sex offenders are supposed to register with the county with their latest address.
Yes.
So if you do sex offender / the name of your county in your state, the website will come up and you could put the address in as a search.
Well, I see a bunch of fart machines on eBay. Now I'm going to check Amazon
Yeah, check Amazon because
because that's easier to
yeah,
get to. Oh, there's also fart spray. No,
ooh,
See, the problem with fart spray is sometimes it's really strong and it really lingers and it could set off an allergic reaction.
Okay, but if somebody is handsy with you, do we care?
To a certain extent, I still care if I put them in the hospital with an allergic reaction because I do not want to be liably responsible for giving that advice to anyone and someone
All right,
winding up in the
right.
ER.
Okay, point taken.
That's the only reason. Now, however, I will say you can get a fart machine,
Well, but
pocket-sized fart machine with remote from Amazon for like $15.
Okay.
And there's also a squeeze one, novelty squeeze pooter fart machine for like $12. Oh, if you want to go into drop a whole 20, there is the combo. There is the combo fart machine that comes prepackaged with the fart spray and a plastic poo. So you can just drop the poop. And then just call that a loss. Just there's a lot of really good actually plastic poop. There's good fake plastic poop.
All right. And if you have to leave and you leave your equipment there, you can contact the police and say, hey, I left my equipment in there because this guy was making me uncomfortable. Can you come with me so I can get my equipment?
Now I don't suggest leaving the plastic poop and then calling the police to get your equipment. Like I don't suggest using both of these tactics at the same time. But you can say, oof, I need to go get something out of the car. I'll be right back, and get the hell out of Dodge and then call the cops.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my God. It's time to hit a button. The package with the plastic poop was a lot. Oh, but Mary, I wasn't going to hit a button for this one. You were going to say some stuff.
Okay. I'm sitting here realizing, so we have an ad, but what have I not like really talked about on the Traveling Groomers Podcast, Chris?
Have you not really talked on this podcast the fact that you co-wrote a book called The Mobile Groomer's Bible?
Seriously. Okay.
That just sounds wrong.
It does. It sounds really wrong, but it is not only a book that if you're thinking about mobile that you should have, even if you just started out, or even if you're an established, it's got a lot of really good information in here. You can get this one of two places. You can go to Amazon and get it. All right. However, keep in mind, Amazon is going to keep a good chunk of the money for this book. Okay. Or you can go to my website and get it directly from the publisher. All right. Which would be positiveed.com. It says books in the menu bar.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay. Or find me at the Colorado Rocky Mountain Teton show and get a copy in person.
No, you just said two different shows.
Colorado Rocky Mountain.
You threw Teton in there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I said Colorado Rocky Mountain show.
We literally have a recording.
I know.
You threw the word Teton in there.
I think you misheard me.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, we will.
Jesus. But yes, yeah, come find her at the Rocky Mountain Groom Expo.
Yeah.
That is a fun show coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I am too, because I have lots of new footage for the doodle class. I have like a ton of new classes for that show.
Okay. I want to make mention, I will also be at Super Zoo in Vegas doing the first aid classes, and those classes are already filling up. If you want to attend the first aid class at Super Zoo, I would suggest signing up while you actually have a choice of which day to take the class.
Yeah. And will you have your books there to sell as well, Mary?
I will probably have a couple of copies with me.
Take a box of books.
I'm not taking an entire box of books. I'm going to take a handful. So if you want a copy and you're going to be at Super Zoo, no.
I say pack a carry-on full of books. I say do it. Think positive that you won't carry them home.
Okay. All right. So where were we?
Not the fact that I accidentally scrolled over the AI search that now has fart machine in my search history.
Oh, good.
Nah.
Tell us what your Facebook ads will be the next couple.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Listen, you're talking to the person who at the Teton show, we got DoorDash the first night and I forgot to ask for utensils. So I'm digging through my backpack, which has since gotten cleaned out, looking for plastic utensils because my backpack is my carry-on personal item. So it tends to accumulate things. And I'm like, I for sure have a spoon in there, which I did. But before I found the spoon, I found the little tiny hand. And I really kind of wanted to just wash the tiny hand and use it as a spoon because that would have amused me. So I can't even be mad if my Facebook ads are novelty fart machine related because that will just make me giggle.
You would have needed a photograph of you eating with the tiny hand.
I would have made Mindy take it too. That would have happened. That would have happened because I'm honestly, I was so tired. It was just a matter of walking over to the bathroom to wash the hand is the only reason it didn't happen. Because it would have amused me. I mean, the tiny hands are still in my backpack. It may happen at some juncture. Just saying. Oh, Mary, talking about travel and the travel and stuff. Did I tell you I accidentally got clear?
Oh, you accidentally got clear?
After being like, I'm not going to pay. I accidentally got clear.
Okay.
Do you want to know how this was an accident?
How?
I signed up when I got a rental car at Seattle.
Okay.
They had this so much free month clear, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I forgot I signed up for a free trial period, and then the trial period ended, and I went $170 and God, son of a bitch, because it charged my account.
Yeah.
But it charged my account like a couple days before I was due to fly. So I kind of went, the money's already gone. Let me see. Let me try, whatever. It wasn't as fast the first time. Like it was okay. But that was me doing the rest of the sign up and verifying everything. But I have to say it kind of was lightning fast. It was.
Awesome. It's not because, Seattle is also a port town. So we have the cruise ships here. And especially on Fridays and Mondays, that airport can be
huge regret that I forgot that I had signed up for the trial thing at Seattle. I could have spent less time in that line, and I am big mad about it. The only perk to that was all the Pearl Jam art on the wall, like album liner art. That was very cool to look at. So I appreciated that.
Yeah. There is nothing like watching 400 people in line to go through security.
And then someone just walks you up to TSA. They walk you up 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
And they just go, "Oh yeah, we cleared these people already. Just show them your boarding pass. All right, bye." And you just cut in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, all right, maybe that's worth it.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
just saying, you know what? When I get the little notification that clear, and I got it for myself and my husband. Okay. So I'm paying for two. Okay. So that comes through. Hey, your clear is going to renew. I'm like, go for it.
Yeah. It's well, and I do, Seattle Airport is
Yeah.
particularly rough. So I'm going to appreciate it next year at Tacoma. I'm going to appreciate it also at Chicago and Vegas
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
any
But,
major airport.
well, also another airport that'll come in really handy will be New York and Miami, which are also port towns.
See, I don't go into the New York airport. Newark is not as much of a port town for cruise ships, and I usually fly in times when the line is not bad. But still, anytime I cannot be on the line is nice too. Just nice. But anywho's, Mary, we should take our
Last
last
one.
commercial break. Yeah, it is about that time. I know when I'm on the road grooming, I want to keep things rolling along. With a 9-foot clearance, Handview mobile grooming vans actually fit through most drive-throughs to make lunch and banking on the go a breeze. With their clean running diesel engine getting up to 5 hours runtime per gallon, you're spending less time and money at the pump. Visit Hanvey.com today to configure the mobile grooming van of your dreams. Mary, I will say, while we're talking about setting boundaries and policies, there are times when I break my rules. And that is if the dog is sick, or it's an established client that had a family emergency. Like somebody is sick, somebody is not well, they're not well, the dog is sick, unless that starts to happen all the time. But if that happens rarely enough where I'm like, okay, this is a legit thing. If it's an I just forgot, no. If it's, oh no, I completely forgot, because those clients do it regularly.
Yep.
Regularly.
Yeah. And you know what? This is why all of my clients would get that text the night before. Okay. And I would also text on my way over because I don't want to be spending time looking for their pets. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you two pieces of advice. Text the night before, they must confirm, and text when you're on your way over. Okay. It takes 15 seconds to do that. Right. This way it's not, oh yeah, we just, especially if you're grooming cats. Okay. So those are, I think, two best pieces of advice I can give you. Okay.
Yeah.
No excuses. I would never, I mean, if somebody is habitual about it, that's a different conversation with it. But as long as you don't make me drive down your driveway, okay, I'm going to be in a much better mood about what your excuse is going to be. Okay. However, the person that used the excuse, my mother died twice on me, did not get a pass.
No. Not the second time anyway. I'm sure they got to pass the first time.
They got to pass the first time. I mean, before I was an asshole about it, I contacted the neighbor who referred them to me as a client and asked them, hey, did any mother in that family die? Oh, no. They were just here this weekend. Big party.
Oh.
Both of them.
Birdied.
Okay.
I will confess, there have been days where I've made that confirmation text for the first appointment from bed, praying they would cancel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I've done Northeast. Okay. So I have done the 8 o'clock in the morning or whenever time I'm leaving. Hey, it's -6 degrees outside. And they'll be like, yeah, I noticed. I will call you later and we will reschedule. And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've actually gotten up a little earlier on snow days and just peeked out the window and then looked at the forecast and then started texting.
Yeah.
Half an hour before I usually get up. Well, I don't say I'm not coming. I say something very professional, like it looks like it's already getting pretty bad out there. We need to reschedule.
It depends on the client too. Most might get the professional message and others might get, have you looked outside? And I'd be like, yeah, screw that.
Yes, the client that drove me and helped me haul stuff for the pet tech class, she would get the girl, I ain't coming.
Yeah.
But she would probably text me first and go, girl, you ain't coming today, right? Like, so.
Yeah. So I've had a number of clients who I would say in the wintertime, look out your window. If it's snowing, go back to bed because I guarantee you I'm going back to bed.
I used to have a client, and I think it just worked out that I never had her scheduled on a bad snow day, but she lived on a road that was kind of at the top of the hill, and her house was, those roads where it's kind of at the top of the hill, and then on one side you have houses that are like up on the hill where the driveways are like S's going up, and then one's on the other side where it's, not so bad. Well, she was on the top of the hill part, and it looked like a bad video game, like a bad roller coaster, you trying to go down her driveway on the good days, because it was very steep and very curvy. And yeah, it was bad.
This been in my entire career that there's been one driveway I could not do even in good weather.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because the turn, it was that S turn.
Yep, the turn was too tight for the van.
The turn was too tight for the van. I had to back down the driveway.
My stress level went up just thinking about that. I would be like, you need to walk your dog down to the driveway.
Yeah. And which they weren't going to do. So that was.
Yeah. I can see that.
That was, what? I do not think we're a good fit. You're going to have to find a house called Groomer or bring your dog into a shop. I don't know what to tell you. It's not going to be me.
Although actually the one time I almost really had a problem on a client's driveway, it wasn't when they were on the upside of the hill, it was when they were on the downside of the hill, because the house was a little bit set down and the driveway went straight, not straight, it wasn't super bad angle, but it angled down towards the garage, and I hit the brakes, or I went to stop the car and the car did not stop. Did not. I really thought I was going to go through their garage door. But fortunately it did stop. But that was a scary moment. I don't know how we got to winter. It's May.
Yeah.
Where did we go wrong in this digression?
Planning.
Yes. Whew. We went to, you know what, policies and confirmation texts. That's what did it.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was totally on topic. boundaries.
Yeah, having policies and plan for the winter that's coming.
Didn't even digress at all. What?
We did not.
Fine.
We did not. We did not digress.
Nope.
Maybe the fart machines were a little digression, but
Nope. Well,
no,
still on topic. Still on topic because
I
it was
think we
using
were
the
on
fart
topic.
machine to get out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, because it is about that time, I have a question for you.
Did we get to all the commercials?
Yeah. Because you just talked through one.
Oh, okay.
Because you talked about the Mobile Groomers Bible that you co-wrote with
Beth Cristiano.
So, okay. And let's wrap up with a digression. When you can't do something, do you blame, like, do you just say, I can't do that to a client? Do you make an excuse? Because I ordered my birthday cake and I'm going to pick it up Friday morning. And I got a carrot cake and I said, you know what? This is a special birthday cake. I don't want the standard little carrots on the, I know it's a carrot cake. You don't have to put carrots to decorate it with carrots. I get it. It's a carrot cake. So I'm like, can you put other flowers or something on it? And I asked for dandelions because I like dandelions. And she's like, well, let me ask the kitchen. Because we discussed roses or sunflower. So then she calls me back. Well, they can't because they don't want to do it without an inspiration picture because they're afraid you're not going to like it. Okay, fine. Quick Google dandelion cake, sent them 2 pictures. The second picture was a stretch, and I'm like, if they can do this, fine. And it was of the dandelion gone to seed that was blowing, and I'm like, all right, that may be a little fancy for them. But the first one was 2 dandelions with the leaves on the side, and it looked pretty simple. It looked like you just took the piping bag that had the thin nozzle, and you just, because the dandelion petals are they're just like little spikes. Mm-hmm. So picture making a pom-pom, a yellow pom-pom, right? And put 2 of those and a green dandelion looking leaf on the side. It looked like something I might attempt if I was trying to be fancy. She calls me back. Oh, the kitchen says they can't do it. They don't have the tools for it.
Okay.
Just say you can't do it. Just say you don't want to do it. It's out of your comfort zone. Don't lie about your tools. Now, if anyone who knows cake decorating wants to correct me on that and comments on one of the things, I'll share the picture. I'll actually send it to you, Mary. I'm going to text it to Mary. Get your professional opinion. Sorry, y'all can't see this. I just Facebook messaged it to you. Tell me that doesn't look easy.
Oh, you know what? I might agree with them. I think the flowers, they're it's very like, individual. I think that's a special tool, Chris.
But
I think it's a special tool.
You think it's a special tool because I think it's just the thin thing you write with. Wow, that's so, the tip you put on the piping bag.
Yeah, I know, but I think
it's just that, and you do it a bunch of times. That's what it looks like to me.
500 times, perhaps.
So charge for it. They're already
Okay.
charging me $15 extra to put sunflowers on it. Charge me more. I think it's just that done 100 times. All right, Mary, now you can put up that picture in the show notes.
Post it in the group.
Okay,
If you
well,
want to see the photo, Chris is going to upload it to the group when it goes live.
yes. Now, the second one I get if they didn't want to do. Like that, I sent her the second one of that, and that's the kind of one that you blow on. I'm like, I get it. That looks hard.
Yeah, that one looks difficult.
That looks difficult.
But even still, that might be beyond their skill level. And it might very well be a different tool. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm calling shenanigans, but that's probably because I got excited for a full 5 minutes about having dandelions on my cake.
Okay.
That's probably
You might
it.
have to take a class on how to do it.
Okay.
Continuing education.
I will add that to number 143 things that I absolutely need to learn how to do.
Okay.
Because I have that kind of a list. You know what, Mary? Honestly, whether it's just reading and looking up the answers to things on Google or taking a class in cake decorating after I retire and have time to do that, honestly, I know someone said this and it's a quote and I don't know who, but you know what? When you stop learning, you start dying.
Exactly. Okay. So on that note,
keep up your continuing education. We will see you next time. Safe travels out there. Well, that was fun, but now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels. Oh, Einstein said that. Ha ha!